Sorry for the short inconvenience. Um, Again, I'm happy to be here with you guys. Again, back to what I was saying before with the mental, physical, and spiritual health. Again, the solutions that you can take to manage your mental, physical, and your spiritual health is, again, for one, go to God in prayer. That's one of the greatest solutions that I can offer in regards to managing your mental, physical, and your spiritual health. Another solution could be to work out, cook, clean, right? These are things that people can do to also manage these things as well. And then another thing as well is to speak to somebody, a friend or a family member, but make sure it's somebody that you can trust to speak about your current situation or your issues with. You don't just want to go to just anybody, right, to speak about your problems or your issues. You want to make sure that the person that you're speaking to is someone that you can ultimately trust, all right? So that's very, very, very important when you're talking about your mental, physical, and your spiritual health with somebody, all right? So that's that for that. And so now I want to jump right into game one of the NBA Finals. Now, allow me to just say this. I am absolutely bamboozled as to what has concluded for game one of the NBA Finals. Now, allow me to just say this. I am still not worried. I'm not worried because my predictions, as you may all know, is that I believe that OKC is going to be the one who completely wins this year's NBA Finals. Now, again, that's just me. That is just purely my opinion. You might think differently about that. That's completely fine. I get it. The Pacers are a very talented team as well. Granted, they have Tyrese, they have Siakam, they have Obi. They have a lot of great guys, and they all play with their own individual chemistry, playing off of each other, as opposed to OKC with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being the power horse or the powerhouse for the OKC Thunders. Now, with Game 1 of the NBA Finals, the concluding scores was 111 for the Pacers and 110 for OKC. Now, obviously, you can see that this is a 1-point deficit with the Pacers leading or winning by just 1 point. Literally, just 1 point. And the reason how that has come to be is Tyrese Halliburton doing what he does best, coming back at the final minutes of the game and creating some wild, crazy shot to get their team by up just 1 single point. I'm telling you this right now. This literally took me by surprise, considering that the first half of that match, the OKC was leading by a milestone, should I say, right? The OKC was leading big time, right? And so one could wonder, how could the OKC choke? How could they choke? And don't worry, I'm there with you, right? Because losing by just 1 point is crazy work. Now, make no mistake, this is just one game of the NBA Finals, right? So considering what we're sitting at right now with the Indiana Pacers having 1 win and the OKC having 0 wins, all the Pacers need, hypothetically, is 3 more wins to officially be the NBA champions for 2025 in the NBA, right? Hypothetically, that's if OKC doesn't lose the next game. If the OKC wins, then it's going to be a tied series, of course, going 1-1. But that will help the OKC come back in their momentum to at least have an upper hand in defeating the Indiana Pacers. Now, as I stated before, I'm not worried. I am shocked. I'm definitely shocked. There's no confusion there. I'm definitely shocked. But again, I'm not worried. The Indiana Pacers, I definitely knew the Indiana Pacers would have been a challenge, right? Because let's just for a minute take a look at the stats real quick for each individual player for the Pacers, right? So Pascal Siakam, 35 minutes throughout the game, he put up 19 points. Only 19 points within 35 minutes of him playing in the game, right? Aaron Nesmith, 31 minutes, and he only dropped 10 points. You have Miles Turner, 28 minutes, 15 points. Tyrese Halliburton, who is the star, should I say, or the projected star of the team, with 39 minutes coming in with 14 points. Andrew Nembhard, 32 minutes, 14 points. Obi Toppin, 25 minutes, 17 points, and then so on and so forth, right? So you got your top 5 top 5 guys coming in or 6 guys coming in with, their individual points, and they're all doing their individual things to help their team get one win or a 1-point win over the OKC Thunders, right? And then for the OKC Thunders, of course, you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is your top player for the team, had 40 minutes, and he came in with a whopping 38 points. 38. That's almost half his play time for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. So you got him doing most of the heavy lifting, but then you have Lou Dort coming in with 15 points in 36 minutes. Jalen Williams with 17 points, also in 36 minutes. And then you have Alex Caruso with 11 points in 28 minutes. And then Chet Holmgren, 24 points with, 24 minutes with only 6 points. 6 points. So that right there probably could have been the cripple for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Granted, he's not just the only player on the team. I get that. But 6 minutes and 24 points as a center, that probably could have been one of the reasons why they fell short, or that is a contributing factor as to why they may have fell short. But again, Shai is the only one that's putting or doing the heavy lifting. So here's the thing, right? The point that I just brought up before with the Pacers, all having their own chemistry and doing their thing to win Game 1, OKC need to come with that same exact energy as well. Again, don't get me wrong. Throughout the first half of the game, OKC was taking off. It was like a huge gap between the Pacers and the OKC Thunder. And then somehow, some way, during the fourth quarter of the match, right, the Pacers found some kind of momentum, or they found some kind of way to come back on top with 1 point. So if the OKC Thunder can do whatever they can, right, to continue to play or to do their part or to play their role, then I don't think they have anything to worry about. And this is just my opinion. I don't think the OKC Thunders have anything to worry about in terms of defeating the Pacers if they can all continue to do their part, in securing a win each and every single game throughout the entirety of the NBA Finals. And they will have absolutely no issue, right? No issue at all. So, again, only time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see what happens for Game 2, which is going to be on Sunday, tomorrow, at 8 p.m. And it's going to still be at Oklahoma City Thunder. So, me personally, I'm not worried. Again, I am shocked as to how Game 1 ended, but only time will tell. And I, for one, still believe that OKC will come out on top. All right, so that is that for Game 1 of the Finals. I'm shocked, but let me know. For those of you who are watching, I don't know for sure if we're live on YouTube as of now, but on Facebook, for those of you who are watching, please let me know your opinions. Who do you think will take it all this year for this year's NBA Finals? Please feel free to let me know down in the comments. But that's that for the NBA Finals. And then for the WNBA, I will give you a matchup for the WNBA. I believe we are, if I'm not mistaken, we are in the preseasons. We might still be in the preseason of the WNBA. But I'll give you your matchups for today. And so today's matchup is going to be between the Las Vegas Aces, who will be taking on the Golden State Valkyries at 3 p.m. this afternoon. And then we have the Indiana Fever, who will be taking on the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese going up against Caitlin Clark at 8 p.m. tonight. And then finally we have the Seattle Storm, who will be taking on the Phoenix Mercury at 10 p.m. tonight. As per usual, I'd like to leave off with the verse of the day. I'll leave off with your verse of the day, and the verse will be coming from John chapter 7, verses 24. John chapter 7, verses 24. Jean chapitre 7, verset 24. Jean chapitre 7, verset 24. John chapter 7, verses 24. And it reads, "Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly. M'bois li verset nan kor lan pou, li di kon sa, pa jije sou l'apparence, jije d'apre sa ki droit. M'bois li sa pou encore, li di kon sa, pa jije sou l'apparence, jije d'apre sa ki droit. Again, the verse reads, stop judging by mere appearance, but instead judge correctly. So this verse kind of speaks for itself, right? I'm going to give a quick brief description of the verse. The verse kind of speaks for itself. Don't judge based off of what you see outwardly, right? But judge what's in the inside. So I also want to put this in another perspective as well. A lot of people, I always hear a lot of people say, you know, it's not good to judge. It's not right to judge. And in some aspects, that is correct. That is absolutely correct. Mom, Dad, thanks for the support. I appreciate you guys tuning in for the show. Dad, I agree. Okay, see all the way. Again, we all, for me at least, for me, I always hear people say that it's not always good to judge, and in some aspects it is true. However, in other aspects, it is necessary to judge. And why do I say that? It's because 9 out of 10 times, we as people have certain habits. And with these habits, at times we live by them, right? And so, if somebody is living a lifestyle that has bad habits that correlate with that, then you would want to be able to judge whether that person is somebody that you should continue to align with or not. I'll give you an example, right? Let's just say, for example, we have somebody that has a history of, you know, being an alcoholic, right? You could look at that individual person, right? And you can judge as to whether you want to continue to align with that person because of their history of alcoholism, right? And so if this person has a history of continuously consuming alcohol over and over and over again, right? And you want to know if this person will continue to either let go of the alcohol or not, then their history of them consuming alcohol or being an alcoholic is something that's going to be necessary for you to look at in terms of whether you want to continue to align with that person or not. Now, again, that doesn't mean that you're better than that person because of their alcohol or their alcoholic issues. No, it's just you making a discerning decision, or you're having discernment in your decision as to whether you want to continue to align with this person or not. I want to give you another example as well. Let's say you're dealing with somebody that has, anger issues, right? Or somebody that always has, issues where they lash out of anger. You want to be aware of that, and you want to look at that in your decision making as to whether you want to continue to align with said person or not, right? Because again, if you see somebody has anger issues or an anger management problem and they lash out when they have these kind of episodes, you want to be able to know that to be able to make the decision as to whether you want to continue to align with that person or not. These are aspects in where it is important for you to judge somebody, because again, it's not just you judging based off of you thinking that you're better than that person, but you also want to make sure that you're not aligning yourself with people that are not supposed to be around you, or people that are not supposed to be included in your circle. That's for people that are, bad, or people that you shouldn't have in your circle. Now, for people that you should have in your circle, let's say somebody that is, somebody that you're judging based off of them, holding people accountable, right? Now, that is a necessary judgment in making and knowing that, okay, this is somebody that is good at holding people accountable, right? holding people to a good standard because they want what's good for them. That's somebody that you want to have in your circle, or that's somebody that you want to include in your group. And so it's necessary to judge and making sure that, okay, I know this person is good at, holding people accountable, holding themselves accountable, and holding other people accountable. And so I know he will do that for me, and I can do that for that person. In that aspect, yes, that is good when it comes to judging, because you want to make sure you look at the person's background, you look at the person's habit and their behavior in order to want to make a good decision as to whether you want to put that person in your circle. M'bal expliquer ça en créole plus vite parce que m'besoin ba l'autre mesdames yo en chance pour yo ka fait partie par aussi. Ça me saute expliquer m'besoin de comprendre ça. Li pas tellement yon bagay qui pas bon pour juger moun. Ou besoin juger moun parce que ou besoin faire si que moun sa ou partager avec, ou besoin faire si que moun sa c'est un moun qui bon pour partager avec moun sa. Là regarder un moun ou un moun sa c'est un moun qui antijan boire en pile. Li antijan boire en pile alcool, li antijan boire en pile clean. Ou besoin ouais yon bagay comme ça pour juger si ou t'es capable continuer partager avec moun sa, ou bien si ou pas partager avec moun sa. So si ou pas un monde qui boit, si ou pas un monde qui antijan boire en pile clean, ou connaît moun sa qui kon boire en pile clean, ou connaît ou pas ta supposé partager avec moun sa. Mais moun qui bon pour comme si yon moun qui yo kon fait connaître tout ça ou fait li mal et ou pas ta supposé faire, ou juger moun sa pour connaître OK, ça c'est un moun qui ka fait me connaître ça m'a faire li pas bon, et puis la continuer encourager pour faire ça qui bon. C'est comme ça besoin pour comprendre. C'est pas tout c'est pas un peu fois là où juge moun li pas bon. Gen des fois tout là où juge moun li ka bon pour parce que encore besoin faire si que tout monde ou mette bon côté c'est un bon moun lié. Et puis moun qui approche ou besoin faire si que moun ça c'est pas un moun qui pas bon pour, ou bien c'est pas un moun qui messed up la vie parce que ça moun ça qu'on fait, c'est un bagage qui antijan li pas comment on dit ça, li pas chute à droite avec ça on t'a supposé faire, parce que comme chrétien nous t'a supposé vivre la vie qui doit devant bon Dieu. Ça veut dire qu'on y a moun qui fait ça qui est pas bon devant bon Dieu, ou pas supposé marcher avec moun ça, ou pas supposé continuer ou pas supposé continuer partager avec moun ça, ou supposé partager avec moun qui fait bagay qui bon, moun qui marche droit devant bon Dieu, moun qui fait ça qui bon dans Dieu bon Dieu. OK? So c'est ça m'te besoin expliquer. Verset encore, il sorti dans Jean chapitre 7 verset 24. Again, the Bible verse comes from John chapter 7 verses 24, all right? So that's it for my show. I'll meet you all here at the same time as per usual next Saturday at around 10:30. And I love you guys.